whatever. Let's just do it.
Live on the edge.
Well, what's going to happen right now is, hang on. I have to unplug my microphone. So now my sound's super crappy because I'm on my laptop.
Sounds good.
You sound like smooth as silk.
All right.
Matt,
well, I also have like the super internet here, so I can take you pretty much anywhere in the facility and have internet. Now there's folks working. I've also recently just updated my privacy policy so that I can do things like this and show customer cars.
Great. Because I couldn't take any pictures when I visited.
I know, and I realized that that's really like shooting yourself in the foot in 2020. So here is the main room.
Yay, look at that thing.
Yep,
Wow.
There's cars all over, and in the back we've got Derek doing a paint correction on a very low-mile Buick GNX. So behind me we have a giant wall of cars. And so one of the things that we're doing here is, I'll show you.
It's like Matchbox come to life, man.
Right. They're not fully connected yet, but I don't want to look at cords. So we got these beautiful custom constant tension reels so that they keep tension on the cords, and the battery tenders connect to the trays themselves. So they go up and down with the trays. And that way you don't have like something like this place has crazy attention to detail, but something I like really hate is like this. This drives me insane that right here, we've got these janky ass orange cords that are looking out for the battery tenders. Like that super sucks because you've got all this crazy like shit, right? This amazing like cathedral of light and cars.
Yep.
And you've got like Home Depot orange cords dangling. So you don't, I mean, look, you don't want to look at this. This is, that's ugly. You don't want to see that shit. So we're installing these. I mean, it's so expensive. Like, this is just ridiculous. Like, no one's stupid enough to do this but me. But like, with these blue reels here, they're going to hide the cables behind the poles.
Oh, sweet.
And then that way you're not actually going to see any of it. And it'll just go, it'll be, and then you just plug the tender into the tray and then it moves up and down. You don't have to worry about things getting caught because God forbid you cut a power cable by not paying attention. It would really be a problem.
Yeah.
So, on this side, we've got lots more cars and, there's a bunch of cars here. That's my new Ferrari. Yay. And so, there's a lot going on in here at any given time. Cars coming in, cars going out.
If we talk about those power cables just for a second, Matt, which I bet is a question you thought you'd never get asked that often. But is that something that you came to think about before you opened it up, or is that a post thing? One of those things?
Well, originally I thought when we bought the stackers, I said, okay, how do we integrate power into the stackers? And integrating it into the stackers themselves was so complicated and annoying and not worth it that we determined that what we would do is wait until the stackers were done and then work around the stacker structure with our own power and our own setup, which I think was the right move, actually.
Okay.
But who spends $50,000 on battery tenders? That's the stupidest. Who is I'm the dumbest person in the world to do this. Those reels, each of those, I have 36 of them, $500 a pop. What's wrong with me? I don't know what I'm doing, but I just want to have the best shit.
Yeah. Well, you're in the business of taking care of, good cars, nice cars.
And I will say on the other end of it, the flip side of the spectrum is, we are actually sponsored by Optima. So Optima gave us 100 battery tenders, which is pretty awesome.
That is awesome.
So we had to do the reels and we have to do the work to make those work. But the tenders themselves, every car on there is on an Optima Digital 400 tender, which is my favorite tender. And they provided all of them, which is great.
Well, it is now.
I've been using them for years. That's one of those, that's a really good, I love Optima, but straight up, I was using that product and then I got them on board.
Matt, you mentioned this before. How many cars you got there?
Well, how many cars can we store, or how many cars do I have?
Both. Oh no, all of the above. How many cars can you store? How many cars do you have in there?
There's 3 of my cars are here
Okay.
now, and that's pretty much all of mine that'll ever be here, because we can keep 2 of the house also. But and our operating capacity is around 110 cars.
110.
Our max, meaning if all the aisles were full as well, that would be 130 cars. I didn't take you guys to the underground level. We have a 40-car underground level as well. Tara was talking about the ramp.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where the ramp is, huh?
That's where the ramp is, yeah. Where I just was the ground level, and then all that craziness, all those racks, all those cars is over an open deck basement, which is where all the crazy engineering comes in. No one's ever done anything like that in a seismic zone before.
Yeah, I was going to say, how thick's the concrete that's separating the basement from that area then?
The deck, it varies depending on where you are. The thinnest portion of it is 18 inches, and the thickest portion is 31 inches. And there's a double rebar grid made of number 18 rebar, and that's 14 inches apart. And the rebar is 1.5 inches thick. So you can't, it's so heavy, this building. It's like we poured 160 trucks. We poured 160 concrete trucks, and we did 110 of them in 12 hours, which is pretty cool.
That building will be the last thing standing.
The big one hits.
Totaled.
Come on down.
Is a question of how much this thing cost you?
A lot.
Probably a lot. Yeah, okay.
A lot. It costs a lot, but it costs a lot. But it's a very premium piece of land. It's a very premium building, and we got a bunch of happy customers that pay a premium price to be here, but they got smiles on their faces,